welcome to this week's State by State. Our state this week is Connecticut. Connecticut is a state in the New England region of the United States, and it has several nicknames. The first of which is the official one, the Constitution State. It's also called the Nutmeg State, the Provision State, and the Land of Steady Habits. The capital of Connecticut is Hartford. Connecticut is a small state, the 45th state by area, if you're going by that, with a total of about 5,560 square miles. The lowest point in Connecticut is Long Island Sound, which is exactly at sea level. This is the Connecticut flag. It is a Baroque shield with 3 grapevines, each bearing 3 bunches of purple grapes on a royal blue field. There is a banner beneath that reads, Qui transtulit sustinet, which is Latin for He who transplanted sustains, which is the Connecticut state motto. The flag was adopted by the Connecticut General Assembly in 1897. The state bird of Connecticut is the American robin, Turdus migratorius. The American robin is considered a symbol of spring. In fact, there are several superstitions that say that the person who ever sees the first robin of the year will have good luck. American robins are known for their reddish-orange chest, which can vary from a very rich red maroon to a almost peachy color. Robins are eaters of invertebrates like beetles and earthworms and caterpillars, fruits, and then they also eat fruits and berries. They're one of the earliest bird species to lay its eggs, and in fact the eggs are very well known for being a particular shade of blue. The state flower of Connecticut is called the mountain laurel, Kalmia latifolia. It's also called the calico bush and spoonwood. This plant is an evergreen shrub and is naturally found on rocky slopes in mountainous forested areas. It thrives in acidic soil. Its flowers range from a light pink to a white and occur in clusters. Kalmia latifolia is notable for its unusual method of dispersing pollen. As the flower grows, the filaments in its stamen are bent and put underneath tension, kind of like a spring. And when an insect lands on the flower to get to the nectar, the tension is released and the pollen is catapulted onto the insect. There have been experiments that have shown that the flower is capable of flinging its pollen up to 5 inches. The state mineral of Connecticut is garnet. Garnet is a gemstone. It's a group of silicate minerals that have been used as a gemstone since the Bronze Ages. They are typically kind of red in color, but they can be in all different colors, but red is the one you'll see most often. In fact, the word for garnet comes from the word gurnet, which means dark red, that was a Middle English word, which was borrowed from the Old French grenade, I'm pronouncing it horrible, which comes from the Latin granatus, which comes from the word for grain or seed, which is granum, possibly referencing the pomegranate, a plant whose fruit has several vivid red seed covers called arils, which are in similar size, shape, and color to garnet crystals. It is also the birthstone for the month of January. Now, the state tree for Connecticut is actually very special. It is the charter oak, which was a large white oak tree growing on Willis Hill in Hartford, Connecticut, from around the 12th or 13th century until it fell in a storm in 1856, and it is still the state tree. According to Connecticut lore, Connecticut's royal charter of 1662 was hidden within the hollow of the tree to thwart its confiscation by the English Governor General. The oak thus became a symbol of American independence and is commemorated on the Connecticut State Quarter. This story is, of course, up for debate in certain academic circles. Okay, folks, now we're moving on to interesting facts or stories that have come out of Connecticut, and we're starting with a spooky one. These two people are Edward Warren Minay and Lorraine Rita Warren. They are rather famous in paranormal investigation circles. In fact, in 1952, the Warrens founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. Now, why am I telling you about these people? Well, who here is a fan of the Amityville horror movies or The Conjuring and all of the subsequent movies with that? I see hands raised. Good. These are the two people who a lot of these stories that were used in those two film universes were used as a background. For instance, the Warrens were actually some of the first investigators to actually go to the Amityville house. And for those of you who like the Conjuring universe, yes, there is Annabelle. Yes, it is locked up in a case. And yes, it does have a warning to not open the case. They had at one time an occult museum, but it had to be closed down due to zoning issues. Ed Warren died in 2006, and Lorraine died in 2019. Currently, the NESPER is being run by their son-in-law, Tony Spera. Moving on from the spooky, we will go from the spooky to the piratey. Despite what's a large Disney movie franchise will tell you, piracy happened everywhere in the Atlantic, including the northern shores. This is Captain William Kidd. Yes, this is Captain Kidd. Now, I'm not going to go into this very deeply. If you happen to like pirates or like the idea of researching about a pirate, I highly recommend you look into some of the stuff about him. Now, on to the myths and legends and stories. There's a belief that Captain Kidd had left a buried treasure somewhere along the East Coast. Most people think somewhere in the Connecticut or upper New York area. Somewhere in Long Island Sound. There was a family that lived on Block Island, which is an island in the state of Rhode Island, but we'll ignore that since we're talking about Kidd. And he did go to Connecticut a lot. In fact, there was a treasure that was buried there by him that was dug up by the governor then and sent to England to be used in a trial against him. But going back to Block Island, there is a family, the Raymonds, whose story has it that for the hospitality she showed to Kidd and his crew, he told her to hold out her apron and he threw golden jewels into it until it was full. Captain Kidd was hung in a public execution on May 23, 1701 at the Execution Dock Wapping in London. He was actually hung twice because on the first attempt the hangman's rope broke. And some people in the crowd called for Kidd's release, claiming that the breaking of the rope was a sign from God. However, he was hung. The attempt was made again to hang him, and this time it was successful. Okay, we're still staying in the ship area, but we're moving on from pirates, and we're going to the Mystic Seaport Museum, or the Mystic Seaport, the Museum of America and the Sea in Mystic, Connecticut. It is the largest maritime museum in the United States, and it's notable for its collection of sailing ships and boats, and for the recreation of the crafts and fabric of the entire 19th century seafaring village. The village consists of more than 60 historical buildings. many of them rare commercial structures that were moved to the 19-acre site and restored. The museum was established in 1929 as the Marine Historical Association. Mystic Seaport has several National Historic Landmarks, ranging from the MSC Berry, which was a whale smack, also called a Noack smack. I guess that is some kind of ship. All the way up to the Charles W. Morgan, which was a wooden whaling ship, which was active for 80 years, and she is the only surviving wooden whaler from about 2,700 ships that operated in the United States whaling fleet. Then there's also the Sabino, which is a small wooden coal-fired steamboat that is only one of two surviving members of the United States Mosquito Fleet. Mystic Seaport has varying museums and outreach programs to teach things like how to sail and such. And if you're more interested, I recommend looking at their website. Okay, folks, now for the authors. Again, this is not a complete list of authors who are from Connecticut, just some. And a reminder for my specifications, they must be born in, raised in, or spent a significant amount of time in. Also, all of these books are available at the Clinton Public Library, either as books or as ebooks or audiobooks or e-audiobooks. In some format, we have it for you. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notifications whenever we post up a new video. Also, check out our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds, which have all of our upcoming events. Next week is going to be State by State featuring Delaware. Thank you all and have a nice day.